Greetings, Ranger fans. I'm Bryan Montgomery, joined today by head coach Chris Hill of the Jesuit Dallas basketball squad. The Rangers heading into yet another busy week of UIL District 9-6A play. Coach, first and foremost, talk about the contest against Nimitz. It was a tough loss for the Rangers on Friday. What kind of learning points were you able to pick up from that setback, and how are you planning on utilizing that this week?
Well, the two main things, I think we got to do a better job against the other team's better players. I mean, Jared Jenkins, to his credit, played just an exceptional game. And it was kind of a trap game in the sense that they haven't had their whole team together, but for like the last three games, everybody's been out and hurt. So I think Friday night was more of a glimpse of what they really are. And they played really well, but our offensive execution wasn't really good, and we need to make sure we're executing the plays and making the right reads and not forcing things and not getting caught up in the excitement and making sure we're staying focused.
And you mentioned not getting yourself into those kind of mistakes. One number that's impressed, I think, recently is the fact the Rangers have 12 or fewer turnovers in 3 of their last 5 contests, including only 9 against Nimitz. Throughout the progression of the season, as the team gets more familiar, is that something you really aim for, is to limit those turnovers, keep them in the single digits, and really give the team the chance to succeed just possession by possession?
Yeah, it certainly is one of the main things we want to worry about. But if you turn it over and end up with a really bad shot, I mean, if you don't turn it over and end up with a really bad shot, it's one of those things. It's kind of like it all just comes down to making the right reads and right decisions. And so we need to make sure we're being aggressive and being smart and just executing the plays, executing the game plan, making the right reads is really, and in our losses, I feel like that's a lot of the issues. We get down or the game gets tight and we press a little bit as opposed to letting it come and relaxing and staying confident. So.
Yeah, I think another one of the components for those last 2 losses against Skyline and against Nimitz is the fact the team really hasn't been able to get themselves to the free throw line that much. Less than 10 free throw attempts in both of those losses. Is that something that you're looking at for this upcoming week, to just have a little more assertiveness, I guess is the best way to put it, to just get the team to the free throw line and get those free throws back?
Yeah, I thought we settled a lot in some of our losses. Which is one of those things, when we shoot really well, we win by a lot and everybody loves it. And then we don't shoot as well, we struggle sometimes. And it's hard to tell. It's hard to turn that off with some kids with their instinct and aggression. And I think it's hard to say, get to the foul line when a lot of it. I mean, I thought we drew some fouls that really didn't get called. And Nimitz did too. They really let us play. But it depends on how the officials are calling the game to really dictate whether we can get to the foul line or not, But we have not gone to the rim quite as much, and we haven't gotten to the basket as much as we have in some other games, and we haven't been as versatile in some of our losses. So I mean, like I just keep saying, we're not reading what's there, and we're settling for some quick threes sometimes when the post is open and drives that are there, and we're just not. I shouldn't say we're not. We didn't in the Nimitz game make the right reads on things. And we worked on some execution stuff on Saturday. We'll again today, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there and put some things together tomorrow night against White.
And you talk about that game against White. The versatility you mentioned did come through in the game against the Longhorns. 38 points in the paint for the Rangers in that big win here at Walsh Gymnasium a few weeks back. Going into the game on Tuesday, what are some of the elements that you want to see from the Rangers as they take on the Longhorns?
Well, that was one of the best games we've played all year, and it's probably one of the worst games they've played all year. So I want to make sure we have the same type of respect and approach to the game that we had the first time, because we definitely went at them like a real threat. And I think if you look at the tape and you look at the score, for high school kids may approach this game a little differently, and it's really important that we don't do that. I mean, they're 5-4, they're 4th in district, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They beat Irving Nimitz, so. There's something there with WT White, and they didn't show up very much the first time. But we got to make sure we come out and play our game and do what we did the first time. I thought that was one of the games we really executed really well. We went inside, we went outside, we played really good defense. We had active hands, and we were all over the place. And so I think if we do that again, we should be fine. But it's a big if they get going. I mean, and they have some quick kids and some kids that can play, and they can make it tough on you if you're not ready to play. So.
And then another big game on Friday, the Rangers welcoming Irving MacArthur to Walsh Gymnasium. That was really a big turning point of the season, was when the Rangers picked up that huge 64-61 win at MacArthur High School earlier on this year. You have to imagine the Cardinals are coming into Walsh Gymnasium. They want to get that win back. It's going to be a high-energy crowd again on a Friday night. How do the Rangers kind of keep all that internalized and focus on the game at hand and focus against a very, very tough and talented Cardinals team?
It'll be interesting. I mean, 4 of our 7 losses are home on Friday nights, and so we need to make sure we get better at blocking that. But at the end of the day, those are playoff-type atmospheres. We've had some great wins and some great atmospheres and some tough losses and some great atmospheres, and that's something. If nothing else, it's going to be a great experience for the playoffs to keep growing and getting better and playing in that kind of atmosphere. But yeah, they're going to come at us, and this is going to be a huge game for district. Placement. It's tomorrow night will help. They play Skyline tomorrow night. We play White, so the top 4 in the district are going at it, and so it'll shave itself out a little bit more tomorrow night. So we'll see what the implications are Friday after tomorrow.
So Ranger fans, 2 big games for the Blue and Gold this week. First, on Tuesday, the Rangers traveling to WT White High School to take on the Longhorns. That'll be an 8 p.m. tip. And then be sure to come over to Walsh Gymnasium on Friday as the Rangers battle the Cardinals of MacArthur High School. That tip-off scheduled for 7:30. And as always, Ranger fans, be sure to keep it locked into JesuitRangers.org for all of your up-to-date Rangers info.